Opponents are 22 for 118 on third down this year against the Wolverines.
Doesn't happen very often.
It's not a good percentage. It's a high snap, running around and stumbling at the 30-yard line. Oh my goodness, a special teams disaster by Ron Caluzzi.
He's down and then he comes up, then he gets hit.
It's kind of on, I think, with the side of the helmet more than what we consider the crown.
After the play, number 10 from Michigan is charged with targeting. He's disqualified from the game. It's a dead ball foul. That foul will be enforced 15 yards from the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line, Michigan ball.
Yeah, because it's a post-possession foul, it'll move the ball back. Michigan will retain possession, but Bush will be out for the remainder of the game. Jabril can do it all. He can run, he can hand it off, and he can throw. He's a high school quarterback. Keeper on the zone read. They're ready for it. He spins back, and Churning is going to be dropped for a loss by Josie Jewell, the middle linebacker, top tackler on this team.
So you practice this all week. You've seen it all year. You're a linebacker. What are you going to do when he gets lined up? You're going to have to get to the outside, try to outrun him to the perimeter because you know he's got the football in his hands.
There's a flag that came out after the play.
After the tackle, things getting a little bit chippy there with Desmond King and Ben Braden.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 14. Half the distance from the goal, from the spot of the foul.
Wow, that's your leader there.
First down.
It started, and third down, 3rd and 10 coming up. It started with Desmond King and the left tackle Ben Braden, and then Mason Cole, the center, 52, came in. Watch, it starts with 71 and 14 right there, a little push. Then he felt that swing, so he comes over. Now 52 off to the left comes over. He's the center, and right here, 52 gets popped in the face. Mason Cole gets hit. And that's where they called it on right there. That's the call that the official made it on. Right? You see him make the call.
Spate straight back, buys time, fires end zone, leaping attempt incomplete. Trying to get it to Chesson. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Looks like Darboh had the football there. But Rugamba does a nice job breaking on the ball just in time to knock that football away.
Again, at our progressive pylon camp. King's trying to coach up Rugamba, the true freshman, kind of mentor him. He is being asked to do a whole lot tonight with Greg Maben out. 3rd down. Spate has protection, fires, but it's batted away over the middle by Brandon Snyder, the safety. And then here comes a field goal attempt. Kenny Allen came out of a slump earlier this year. He missed 5 out of 6, missed 3 against the Badgers, but he's made 6 in a row. Make it 7 from 26 yards out. So Michigan converts the punting gap, but only for 3. 2 kickers in Iowa. This is the long distance kicker, Miguel Racinos out of Mason City. He's made 1 of 2 this year. He's a walk-on, and this one starts right and stays right. No good. And the Hawkeyes miss an opportunity to tie the game. Ty Isaac gets his first carry today, and he barrels in for a Michigan touchdown.
Thank you, gentlemen. Visual Aflac question tonight.
Tell.
In this 1983 Iowa Hawkeyes coaching photo, can you name the 5 assistants that went on to become FBS head coaches?
Billy Snyder,
offensive coordinator, yeah.
Barry Alvarez, Bill McCartney.
That's Dan McCartney.
There's Dan McCartney, yeah. Bobby Stoops. There's Kirk Ferentz.
And that would be your 5 for 5.
Thank you. Thank you. Watching it, I don't watch that recruiting very often because it drives me crazy with the hats. But he came down to Clemson and Michigan, and he picked Michigan.
Straightforward punt. Kirk Calusi's going to get it off without any drama and any mishap. And he's going to knock it dead. Can they get there? Yes. That is perfection. After, look at Calusi charging down the field after a lot of crazy stuff in the first quarter. Let's see if Iowa defense can create a spark play of their own. Down 10. Spate 6 of 12 for 68 yards. More what you expect. Smith in the I formation, hit, and a safety by the Iowa defense. Jaleel Johnson burst across the line, and the Hawkeyes get on the board with a safety.
Chris, we talked about how quick Jaleel Johnson is. 6'4", 310 pounds. He's like Wadley is on the offensive side. Watch him shoot this gap. And watch how quick he is able to come off that block. Kalis kind of gave him a shoulder, but nobody accounted for him. And with him, that's the one guy you've got to worry about penetration backed up in your own 2-yard line.
See if they bring the pressure here. They will rush 5 on second down. Beathard flips it over, and it's complete. And off and running is Wadley. There's the playmaker in Michigan territory. There's their best chance for an explosive play. Down to the 25.
There you go.
Wadley's got it again in the flat, a couple blocks, and he spins free, still running hard down inside the 20. They found something they can use.
You got a flag that came in here late.
Wolverines are pointing Iowa's direction.
One of the Michigan players picked it up.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 90. Half the distance from the end of the run, automatic first down.
It's Brian Monet, so it is on Michigan, and Iowa will march down now in scoring position inside the 10.
Yeah, that was just a mistake there by Monet on the right side of the screen. Watch him come in and just push the offensive lineman there, Boone Myers, right in front of 3 different officials. Pretty easy call after the play, but there's Wadley again. Kirk Ferentz saying, hey, how many times against this defense are you going to get down inside the 5-yard line? And we just talked about, we saw this just a few weeks ago against Michigan State. 8 times inside the 10, 0 points. Do they down, they look to the left, that rub route?
Beathard retreats, flips it in the flat, screen, touchdown! That whole drive was Akram Wadley, and the Hawkeyes are hanging tight. They'll go for 2 now, try to tie it up here.
Great call against man-to-man. You had the rub out to the left, and then you had the back Wadley matched up against the linebacker, but because of the blitz, he ends up freeing up. Nobody picked him up.
Wadley 37 receiving yards there in that drive, and his 3rd receiving touchdown. Wadley to the right of Beathard. 3 receivers to the left. CJ looks that way, fires, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Adrian Falconer, one of the young receivers. And
well, Coach, what has enabled the success of your defense against an offense who really hasn't struggled with anybody?
Well, you know, they got off to a really good start. I think our guys just kind of dug in a little bit. They're playing hard.
After that last drive on offense, where do you see the most opportunity for your offense to be effective in the second?
It'd be nice to, you know, finish the drive or at least finish the 2-point play. But yeah, we're going to have to try to mix it a little bit. We've been running the ball fairly effectively. You know, we're going to have to find a way to pass a little bit better.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach.
Consider they were down 10-0, and the game looked like it might be getting out of reach. They come up with a safety, the touchdown, all of a sudden they're back in it, and this is exactly what they wanted. Just hang around for a half, make things interesting, and now the ball goes to Michigan and Wilton Speight, team that has not been able to run the ball well, at least in the first half, only 45 yards on the ground.
there's the short kick taken by the out man who loses it, and the Hawkeyes fall on it. A turnover gives Michigan the ball. Brady Ross recovered the fumble, the fullback. And it's Michigan making a special teams mistake.
And Kirk Ferentz has been very aggressive tonight with his decision making. 5-4 on the year, coming off a disappointing loss. He's sending a message to his team, taking on the Michigan Wolverines.
Daniels in the eye on 4th down. Beathard, sneak. Got it, but barely. They feed him. Cuts it back. Stutter step in the clear. Wadley down in the red zone. And the Hawkeyes really threatening to take the lead now. Hawkeyes running game reawakening tonight when desperately needed. Feed him again. He's got a crease again. Wadley just dancing past defenders. Another first down inside the 10.
Forced Beathard out of the pocket to the left, and McCray waiting on it.
Keith Duncan is a true freshman kicker, very reliable on chip shots, and he has still not missed from inside the 30-yard line. Good from 25, and Iowa has the lead. 11-10, of course it is. They're running through them. Different team tonight. 2nd and 11. Spade on play action is chased. Ball knocked out of his hands. It's a fumble recovered by Higdon, and Michigan retains possession. That's the closest they've got there. Parker Hesse came around the edge, and Nelson as well. And Harbaugh, of course, the old quarterback for 15 years in the NFL, looked a little frustrated with his guy. Spade has not been able to cash in on the deep opportunities that have been there tonight. Allen punts it up high. A flag is down as the ball lands in the end zone. So we'll check the marker. Was it back at the line of scrimmage? He's not afraid to work the officials, is he? He's constantly barking and begging for calls over there.
Personal foul, roughing the center. 37, 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Now they got Brandon Snyder. You cannot rough the center when he's got his head back delivering a snap. You don't see it called too often, and Ferentz is hot.
Yeah, his sophomore safety right in the middle, 37, over the left shoulder of the snapper. He goes right over top of him. This is one for Dave Kataya. Dave, Chris said it, we don't see this called very often.
It doesn't happen very often. You have to give the center 1 second to come out of his stance and protect himself. Pretty clear that's under a second, but it's not a huge hit. But it isn't called very often at all.
So a full second.
A full second, yes.
Scott Subniewski is the long snapper. He's about 230 pounds, pretty light to be in there. He got run over, and that's a huge call. Higdon is the back in the I formation on 3rd and 1. He's got the pitch. Penetration and a tackle for loss by the Hawkeye defense. And that is huge because it pushes them back into very marginal field goal range. Allen Kirk's going to try for a 51-yarder. This would be a career long by 4 yards to give Michigan the lead. Drives it right through. Wow, what a kick. Best field goal of his life. Paul Kirk. If they don't get it, will they go for it on 4th down? Spate from the pocket. Delivers into traffic. A battle for the football. It's intercepted. Taken away by Rugamba, the true freshman. He just took the ball away from the receiver, and the Hawkeyes have it back on Michigan's first pick tonight.
Well, the ball is thrown behind Chesson. Looks like the ball's thrown. He still almost comes up with it, but how about the effort by Rugamba there, the true freshman? Fights that football away from Chesson and ends up coming up with a huge interception.
Their success tonight, our AT&T Inside Access takes you inside the famous visitors locker room here at Kinnick, which is painted pink. Years ago, Hayden Fry did this because it's supposed to make the opponents calm and passive. The lockers were still pink, but you saw how they papered over it with a bunch of Michigan stuff, and you know, it's the psychological warfare. Not a real factor tonight. Potentially, what a huge 2 minutes ahead for this Iowa team that has been beaten down and had their heart questioned last week after a loss at Penn State. Beathard on 1st down, hit as he throws downfield, and it intercepted. Picked off by Channing Stribling. He tried to get the ball to Smith, who fell down. Taco Charlton pressured him. He does throw and get a 1st down. That would just about do it. They could bleed the clock down. 3rd and 8. Spade is pressured. Loops it. Far sideline. Jump ball incomplete. Broken up once again by Rugamba. Spate took another hard shot to the left side there, and he's favoring that arm.
Risk. Now Iowa saves a timeout.
Allen, a low boot. Desmond King's going to have a chance from the 41. And the Thorpe Award winner battles up near midfield. Here comes a flag. They wanted a face mask. I think now finally the flag is thrown. I didn't see it. It was caught up in traffic along the near sideline.
It's a face mask.
This is going to really move the ball into position.
Personal foul, face mask. Number 9 on the kicking team. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
They got Mike McCray in what is a huge call.
Mike McCray hustling downfield, trying to make a play, trying to contain King.
He just got his hand across the face mask. It wasn't much. To earn the personal foul. Harbaugh can't believe it.
Again, I refer to Dave Kataya, who knows this better than Dave, I always thought you had to grab onto that face mask. It looked like he just kind of put his hand went across it.
That's what it looked like. You have to grab, twist, turn, etc. I can't tell if he has his fingers inside, but it looks like what you're saying is correct.
Well, that puts the ball right at what our spotter Mike Block indicates is the outer range of Versonis, the long-range field goal kicker.
Jim Harbaugh jumping in there to call a quick timeout.
Remember how Beathard has struggled now in the second half. Just one completion and one interception. Can they get the running game? Can they get it to more makeable field goal range?
You're going to get a healthy dose you would expect of Wadley here. Akram Wadley. Especially they've had success getting him on the edge.
Beathard retreats. It's a screen. It is Wadley. And he stutter steps down to the 25-yard line, and Iowa is in field goal range right now. And Beathard's in the shotgun. He's got Daniels to his right. Quarterback just takes off. C.J. Beathard dives for a first down at the 15, and they are in excellent position now for a game-winning field goal. Very few design runs for this quarterback.
It was a great job of Beathard coming. He's athletic enough to make that play on a quarterback draw. The Michigan defense opened up there. Now you just work the clock down. Not only do you pick up the first down, he's close to the middle of the field. And now they're just going to line it up for this last-second field goal.
Ferentz standing next to the official. I cannot believe we're going to have perhaps a finish like we had here back in 1985 when Harbaugh was the quarterback. Here is Keith Duncan, a freshman, a walk-on who's been very, very accurate. Doesn't have great distance. That's why we saw Racines come in earlier. Made it earlier from 25. And the guy who was in high school a year ago steps out there with a chance to live every kicker's dream.
That's what it's all about. This is why you work on those fields away from the team hours and hours and hours to hope for an opportunity like this.
Weddington, North Carolina, a long way from Big Ten country.
Gotta believe Jim Harbaugh may freeze him here with that last time out.
Keith Duncan for a walk-off winner from 33 yards.
He's moving down. Timeout.
And he will, as you suggested, give the young fella a little more time to think about it.
Don't forget what's at stake here. Not only for Iowa trying to have a big moment, but for Michigan, for Penn State, for Ohio State. If you're
happy in Happy Valley, this goes through.
If you're a Penn State fan, you're cheering like crazy for this field goal to be good and for Iowa to upset Michigan. And if you're an Ohio State fan, you're cheering like crazy for him to miss this field goal and for Michigan to win the game.
Remember how good Michigan has been at getting their hands on kicks. UCF, it was a PAT, it was a field goal. We know what they've done against punts. Nothing's been automatic here. Harbaugh can't ice him again. Keith Duncan, true freshman from North Carolina, from 33 yards and a walk-off winner. Right through, and the Hawkeyes have stunned the Wolverines. Michigan unbeaten no more. Respect between King and Peppers there. with the Wolverines challenged on the road for the first time, don't pass the test. And the Hawkeyes, who've been questioned and criticized, very few of these folks mobbing the team believe this would happen tonight, Kirk. What a scene.
Not after last Saturday. This is a heck of a moment for Kirk Ferentz and for this Iowa football team.
Ferentz is somewhere in that mob with Sam Pyre. We'll try to see if she can hear us. Sam, are you there?
Well, Coach, you put a true freshman out there to win a game of this magnitude. How would you describe your confidence in him?
Yeah, I'm really proud of him and just really proud of our whole team. A week ago we weren't feeling so good about this time of night, so the guys really did a great job, hung tough, and just played hard tonight.
Coach, you've been doing this for a long time, and you described what it was like last week and wanting to see how your team would respond. So what can you say about the way they responded out here?
Just really proud of him. I'm so happy for him. Last week we just got kicked right in the teeth, and that's not much fun. Been through it, done it, all that stuff, but the guys got off the mat. They did a heck of a job all week. Obviously competed tonight.
Coach, what was the locker room like at halftime when obviously you guys had already proven you could hang with these guys?
Well, we knew we were in a game, and I think they knew they were in a game, but we also knew there's a lot of football left to be played. There's a heck of a second half.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Congratulations.
Yeah, there was no real defiance. Who knows what he said to his team, but after that embarrassment in Happy Valley, Iowa come home, regroups. The final drive was a short one, aided by a controversial face mask call, but then Keith Duncan, the true freshman, just drives it through, and the Wolverines beaten 14-13 in a game that is shades very much of that 1985 1-versus-2 game here. Only 230 total yards by Iowa. Akram Wadley accounted for 167 of them, and their defense played their tails off, Kirk. It was a shorthanded group. We talked about, the freshman Manny Rugamba, who made an interception in the second half, and they were not going to be able to pick on him tonight.
This is why college football for me is the best. Everything showed that Michigan should win this game decisively. Coming on the road, taking on a team that got embarrassed, one of their worst losses in 12 years. And they come back in front of these home fans at Kinnick Stadium, who is a loyal fan base as anywhere in the country. And they did exactly what they needed to do. Made it an ugly game, got it to 14-13 with a last-second field goal. And Kirk Ferentz, man, his emotions so genuine after the game. He is so proud of this program that he has built here. And to go from one extreme of emotions last week at State College to the other extreme of emotions tonight, this is why it's the best, man. This is why college football is the best.
It sure is, amen. And speaking of State College, this scene beneath us right in this field, reminiscent of what we saw when Penn State blocked the field goal, beat Ohio State. The folks there were all white. These folks are dressed in all black, but it's an upset that they'll never forget. An Iowa team kicked around, and a Michigan team that just wasn't able to do it tonight on offense. Wilton Spade had a terrific season coming in here, did not have a very good night. They didn't really get the running game going until late. I don't think this loss, because of what happened at Clemson, what happened in Seattle, I don't think it knocks Michigan out of playoff contention by any stretch, but it does raise some issues.
It does, because they've got the big game at the end of the year still with Ohio State in Columbus. Still, there'll be so much at stake for both the teams. The winner of that game still is going to be in a really unique spot, but Penn State now potentially gets into the driver's seat if they were to win out. Remember now, Penn State would beat Ohio State head-to-head. They would win the head-to-head tiebreaker. If Ohio State beat Michigan, Penn State would then advance to Indianapolis. So that also could impact potentially the playoff at the end of the year.
We knew that the Big Ten East was going to be a lot of fun. We weren't sure it was going to be a three-team race, especially not a couple months ago. But Penn State at Rutgers, big favorites there. Home Michigan State, and the Lions, if they get those 2 wins and Ohio State wins against Michigan, you're right, they would go. And perhaps Ohio State would still be in playoff contention, though, even though they don't win the division.
Could be.
Who knows?
Could be. What a wild day.
It was a wild day as 3 undefeated teams in the top 4 all go down, from Death Valley and Clemson to Seattle, here in the heartland at Iowa, where a walk-off field goal by a true freshman. Keith Duncan wins it for the Hawkeyes. An unusual 14 points they put together to knock off the Wolverines by a point. The Ford Wrap-Up Show, Cassidy Hubbard, is up right now.